Alrighty, Knicks fans, let's get right to it. You're watching New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. It was great vibes here on a Monday, orange and blue skies, until we got the injury update, and it's not a good one. The report is that Josh Hart is doubtful for Game 2 with an ankle injury. The injury happened in the fourth quarter. If you remember that shot he hit, the little sidestep three with 5 seconds left on the shot clock, he did it while he was limping. A couple possessions before that, he jumped up for a rebound, came down, and I believe landed on the foot of a Cleveland Cavalier. And the fact that he went on to play through that injury made a lot of people think, myself included, that his injury was nothing to worry about. Then you wake up Sunday morning and there's nothing from the Knicks about the injury or about his injury designation or nothing. He talked to the media. He didn't bring anything up about it. And this afternoon here on a Monday, we get the report from the Knicks PR that Josh Hart has been labeled as doubtful for Game 2. And this is a huge blow for the New York Knicks if he is unable to go, because when you think back to Game 1, Josh Hart was the X factor. Josh Hart was the driving force behind that win. Josh Hart is a dog. And when you go for 17 points and 10 rebounds and 1 assist, one steal, 2 assists, played great defense on Donovan Mitchell. How many putback layups did we see him have in the fast break? I want to bring on producer Patrick Seaman here. Steve, I thought you made a great point earlier after the game. You said, a lot of people in the NBA say role players don't travel. Well, Josh Hart travels. What he does travels. And if he's not going to play Game 2, Seeps, I don't feel good about this. And I'm worried. If you're listed as doubtful the day before, that means it's not good. And now I'm worrying about his health for the rest of the freaking playoffs.
I'm assuming this ankle is probably extremely swollen right now, and it's probably sitting at like a 5% chance he's playing tomorrow. He's going to probably wake up, go through a little warm out, and then really see where he's at. But Marsh, like you just said, role players don't necessarily travel well during the NBA playoffs. We saw that with Grimes. We saw that with Quickly. This guy showed up, and now with kind of his uncertainty going forward around this health, it's definitely a concern for me.
100%. And if he's not going to be able to go, you're more reliant on an RJ Barrett. You're more reliant on an Emmanuel Quickly. You're more reliant on a Quentin Grimes. And I still believe in Quentin Grimes. You guys know that. Excuse me. And I still believe in Emmanuel Quickly. But you had an opportunity here, Seeps. Game 2. I know a lot of teams that are the road team and the underdog in Game 1 let it fly underneath the radar and kind of just mail Game 2 in. It's like, we already got the home court advantage. This was an opportunity for the Knicks to smell blood in the water and really double tap the Cavs and in this series. And
we were talking about kind of the ability to just play free and play with house money in Game 2. But now with this Josh Hart injury is pretty serious. Obviously, this is not nowhere near a must-win for the Knicks, but it kind of ramps this kind of just the attention to details.
A lot of pressure on Game 3.
Yeah, a lot more pressure on Game 3. But I will say one kind of tidbit is having those 2 days in between Games 2 and Game 3. If he sits out, that means he would have went from Saturday to Friday. Hopefully it's just a tweaked ankle, because if it's a high ankle sprain or something like that, it could be a multiple-week injury.
That's a good point. He would have Sunday, Monday, if he doesn't play, which you're listed doubtful if you're probably going to freaking play. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you have off, which – sure, if you want to look glass half full, that's a good thing to look at. I'm concerned. I'm 100% concerned, and we'll open the comment section to the audience right here. What is your concern level without Josh Hart, or really with Josh Hart going forward? Because, Seeps, these ankle injuries, they don't just come and go.
No, and I mentioned this to Marsh the other day, but if you do sprain an ankle, imagine everybody at home. If you take a rubber band and you extend it out all the way without it snapping, when it comes back, it's very flimsy. That's kind of how Josh Hart's ankle is going to be throughout these playoffs. But again, Marsh, you mentioned it. He did hit that big-time 3. He's got that toughness. He's got that dog in him. I don't think it's end of the world like Marsh is.
I'm in shambles, dude.
He's in shambles right now. But I do think it's not the worst-case scenario, obviously.
Look, they didn't say he was out, which makes me feel it's not the worst-case scenario. But why would you say he's out and give the Cavs a whole day of preparation without him? We'll leave it up to you. I'm at about an 8 right now. My concern level, scale it for yours from 1 to 10. 1 being you're not concerned, 10 you are. I do know this. If we get a Josh Hart update tomorrow, I wake up tomorrow, Josh Hart's questionable or anything changes, we're going to get you guys a video as soon as possible. When the Knicks make a move, we make a video. hit that sub button. We just crossed over 20,000 subs here on the channel, and we're looking to get to 30,000 subs as soon as possible. So hit that sub button, sub for Knicks Dubs. Look, Knicks take game 2. They're in sole possession of this series, but with Josh Hart potentially not being able to go, that definitely changes. We'll find out. We'll find out. Look, if Josh Hart's not able to go, you need these 3 guys
100%
to be much better than they were. I mean, the fact you were able to win game 1 with Jalen Brunson playing 9 minutes in the first half to pair along with getting 8 points from Emmanuel Quickley and Quentin Grimes. And then when you add in RJ Barrett into that mix, you get 15 points out of those guys. I expect Grimes to bounce back. I love the clutch free throws he had to close this game. I think Emmanuel Quickley is too good of a hooper to be held down this entire time. But Seeps, this guy right here, RJ Barrett, he's got to answer the bell.
100%. I mean, he cannot have, if he puts up this stat line, yes, the steals, the assists, those are great parts of the game that he would still contribute to winning. You just can't have that 2 of 12 because somebody's going to need to fill in for those 17 points that Josh Hart had. But Marsh, I will say, I'm confident in guys like IQ. I'm confident in guys like Grimes. It was their first time in the NBA playoffs. They look sped up on TV. I think once they settle in, they took game 1, so they're going to play a little more freely in game 2. Still, I mean, it's this guy on screen right now.
And that's what scares me is because honestly, I believe the Knicks are at their best. People are going to be mad at me at the comments. I don't really care at this point. I think the Knicks are at their best when RJ Barrett is not on the floor because when you take RJ Barrett out, you get to add in a guy like Grimes, who's a better catch and shoot player and defensive player and a better overall winner. You get to add Emmanuel Quickley, who is a way better scorer, more efficient player, better defender, and knockdown shooter. It's gonna who's closing the games now? Who's your backup 4? Now Obi's gonna have to play more minutes. Your team is so much different with Josh Hart. It's a big deal. It's a big deal, and I don't think I'm overreacting here.
No, I don't think you are either, but I just think
it's still doable. It's still doable.
Still doable. I'm curious. Right now, the Knicks are a 4.5-point favorite heading into tomorrow. I wonder if that line has changed as Marsh is looking it up. Because, I mean, I think Josh Hart, the impact he's had, I could put him down for maybe 2 points on a spread. I mean, if this is up to 6.5 now.
It's -5 now, so it probably hasn't really moved.
Yeah. But it's going to come down to those other guys. This pretty much guarantees RJ in that closing lineup for the Knicks. He's going to have to play it much better than he did down the stretch.
I want to ask him the other question, not this one. So you made a great point. We'll push this across. Should he play on the bad ankle? You made a great point. Knicks played game 1 on Saturday. Game 3 would not be until Friday. You're already up 1-0. Technically, you've stolen home court advantage, but home court advantage could flip like that if the Cavs win game 3 or game 4. Do you play Josh Hart here? Like, if he's what percentage does he have to be?
The ankles are such a tricky thing, too, because if he goes out there, let's just say in game 2, and it is a pretty bad ankle sprain, he tweaks it again.
That's weeks.
And then you're probably out for the rest of the series. And then the Knicks, even if they would go take game 2, let's just say this, they take game 2, but you lose Josh Hart for the rest of the series.
Not worth it.
Not worth it at all.
So look, he doesn't play Tuesday. That means he has rest Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, play on Friday. That's 5 days of rest. Answer the question. Should he play on the bad ankle? Type Y for yes, type N for no. If he is under 80%, I say no.
Yeah, definitely. No, I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. With those ankles, they're a tricky thing. Because, like I mentioned earlier, if you just keep spraining that same ankle over and over again in the playoffs, he's going to have no base to jump off of, and we know how important his lower body is to his jump shot and everything else, but I'm leaning towards I would probably hold Josh Hart out, which is probably going to be a tough thing because you know he's going to want to go tomorrow night.
And this changes so much of your defensive versatility as well. Obviously, Grimes came out as the primary defender on Donovan Mitchell, but Josh Hart did a lot of the defensive or carried the weight, I guess the way I want to say this is, of that matchup. Like when Hart was in the game, he was damn near guarding Donovan Mitchell, and he didn't shut him down, obviously. Mitchell had 38, but I thought he made him work.
Yeah. And now you talk about a guy like Grimes, who you want to see him step up offensively next game. He's going to have to carry that load defensively. That's going to be all on his shoulders. The Donovan Mitchell assignment will be all on Quentin Grimes. Maybe that's when you turn to a guy like R.J. Barrett and you say, go make what your contract's worth. Why don't you shut down Donovan Mitchell tonight?
We saw him. It jumped off the screen to me. I did not expect it. It was literally the first thing I said when the Cavs won the tip. I said, R.J. Barrett's guarding Darius Garland. I didn't expect that.
Yep.
I thought he played good defense. Still pissed off he didn't get on the floor those 2 times for those 2 loose balls. Had 6 assists, had 4 steals, had a great play in the first quarter where he stole the ball, drove the ball coast to coast, then a little drop-off pass to Julius Randle, and he walked into a 3. But since the Josh Hart trade, the Knicks have been a top 5 team in the NBA in every statistical category, including wins and losses. And now you're without him. It just fucking sucks.
It's tough, man.
It just sucks. Let's do our part. We'll end this piece here. Once we get an update, we'll do another video. But let's show him some love. Show Josh Hart some love. Let's type his jersey number. Let's hope that we get the good vibes rolling. I'm trying to think positive thoughts, but this one really hurts.
You're up 1-0. He sits out tomorrow night. Worst case scenario, you lose. Hopefully you have a Josh Hart at 99% on Friday night, and the Garden will be rocking.
If it takes him to get back to plus 90% on Friday, him not to play, you can't play him. You can't. You can't think short-minded. As much as I want to win Game 2 and take sole possession of this series,
yep,
you got to do what's best for the team. Look, if we get an update, we'll make a video. Sucks we're coming with bad news, but I'm excited for the game tomorrow. Still am, always will be. We'll be live an hour before tip seeps. And I will be live. Let's bring the good vibes. Let's go Knicks.